Well, good afternoon. I don't know if you'll remember or not, but not that long ago, I gave out some negative feedback and I made a video on it because I caught a driver co-loading. Yes, that's right, co-loading. And he admitted to it. And then he offered me £100 bribe to take down my negative feedback, and I refused. And then he invoiced me and added an extra £50 on plus VAT for waiting time. After a stern email back, he sent me the correct invoice. And I paid them the right money early. But guess what? Yesterday, I got my first ever negative feedback. I got a tit for tat feedback. Yes. It said paid on time, paid early, whatever. But it said that I didn't give enough information. I should have been paying him extra for how long he was on site and blah blah blah. Didn't mention anywhere that he co-loaded and absolutely really annoyed one of my customers, and the fact that he put a pallet on the back of his van, so everything had to be handballed off the side of his van, which was really inconvenient, especially as he arrived half an hour after they should have left, but luckily enough they were there a bit later. Anyway, yes, he gave me negative feedback, but I emailed the CX this morning, and that negative feedback has been taken down because they said themselves it's just the retaliation feedback, and that's not on. So they're also going to give him a phone call with a swift warning not to do that again. So yeah, I got my first ever negative feedback, and within 24 hours, it's gone. Because I did nothing wrong. I paid the man early. I paid him the right amount of money. I didn't take his £100 bribe to take down my negative feedback. So, yeah, that's just the way it is.
Many unbearable hours later.
Hello! Right, let's get straight to it. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, but I think some people are losing touch with reality. So, I posted a job on the Courier Exchange. It was 107 miles. It was from a decent area to a decent area, and it was for a small van. And these are the quotes that I got. So, £75, £90, £115, £117, £130, £160, and £190. Small van, 107 miles. So that ranged from 70p a mile to £1.77 a mile. Yes, for a small van. Now, what is going on with them prices? I'm going to tell you now. Number one, £75 got the job. It was the oldest company who quoted on the job, who've been going for a long time, who I've worked with before, who have a good name, and they got the job straight away. And they should be on site any minute now picking up that job. I will also say the £190 quote removed his own quote, so I'm assuming he may have made an error, but by the time he might have quoted again, the job had gone. So I asked a few of my friends who run small wheelbase vans how much they would charge me for that job, and they said between £90 and £100, which, me personally, I was happy with. 90 would be 85p a mile, 100 would be 95p a mile. That was fine. I had a budget on that job, and I wanted to spend no more than £100. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to spend more than £100. 107 miles, small van. I wanted it to go for less than £100, and I offered it out in the WhatsApp group for £100, but nobody could take it. So the quote, there was £130. That driver had 5 negatives and 2 complaints. The quote, there was 115 and 117. They both had negatives as well. And I didn't go in that much detail to actually look at the negatives and what they were for, but they were all for deliveries, not for payment issues. So that's why I feel like people are losing touch with reality at the minute. Like, how on earth is there that much of a difference from quoting 70p a mile to £1.77 a mile. There's a pound difference there per mile for the job. That to me is mind blowing. It's bizarre. I cannot get in my long wheelbase more than 120, 125 a mile if I'm running on the CX. And that is if I'm having a really good day. Most of the times I struggle to get just over £1 a mile in this 4-metre Sprinter. No, I'm not even in a Sprinter, I'm in a Crafter. The same bloody van anyway, but this 4-metre load space I've got in this Crafter, and I struggle to get £1 a mile. And I've got people in small vans asking me to pay them £1.50, £1.77 a mile. No, it's not going to happen. I think people need a reality check. The Courier Exchange is for couriers like myself or shippers who don't have customers, not have drivers, to put work on and get their work covered. It's not to put work on and then get ripped off by a self-employed driver or another courier company because they think they can overcharge. £1.50, £1.77 a mile for a small van. That's overcharging. That's ridiculous. That's bigger than what the big boys are charging for their customers. And it's nowhere near in the range of what I can charge. It's mind-blowing, honestly. It's really mind-blowing. So yeah, like I said, the £75 person got the job. Reputable company that's been going for a long time on the CX. They've got a very low number, and I know them quite well. I've done a fair few jobs for them, and most of you out there will have done a fair few jobs for them, and they've done a fair few jobs for me as well. Now, everybody from the £115 to the £190 range were actually new drivers or new companies that have started on the exchange in the last 6 months to a year from their numbers, their ID numbers. So, is there an issue with new drivers coming on and being promised the world, too much money, and then they're quoting really high? Have they all got the paying for the TEG price index? Because that seems to be wrong 90% of the time. Because they don't factor in small jobs and big jobs. They just put them all as one. So obviously, if you're doing a small round town few mile jobs, you can get like £3-4 a mile. If you're doing a few miles, you got minimum charges. But if you're doing long distance every day, you're not going to get them prices. So when they're merged and it's saying small vans can get £2 a mile, it's absolute bullcrap. It is. And it's very frustrating that people are actually quoting these prices. I know every now and then there's going to be a chancer who thinks that no one else is going to quote on that job and you're going to quote high, just try and get it. I understand that. But when I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quotes and 5 of them were over my budget, that seems a bit ridiculous. I'm sorry to say it. It really does. Like, I had another van out this morning. I had a long wheelbase out this morning who charged me less than most of these small vans quoted. Less. Like the video if you do like the video. Dislike it if you don't like it. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. I post on there occasionally. And make sure you subscribe because still only 50% of the people that watch the video subscribe. And everyone loves a subscriber, as I've been told. Bye bye.